Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is Bill Olson, our trading anchor, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are moving lower this morning, with S&P futures down 0.75%, Dow futures down 0.39%, and NASDAQ futures down 1.21%. Markets are seeing declines this morning as investors worry about the slowing growth at megacap tech companies and China's crackdown. Really, the whole week, markets have been whiplashed by China's regulatory grip in face of many more earnings. Traders see even more volatility to come as the Delta variant threatens the global recovery and central banks consider tightening policy. Part of the reason we're seeing drops in the market, particularly in NASDAQ, is from Amazon slipping in pre-market after its sales outlook missed expectations. Elsewhere in markets, the dollar has remained steady as it's on course for its biggest weekly drop since May. Treasuries have moved higher, yet oil declined. Over in Asia, stocks slid with the Hang Seng Index set for its worst week since February amid Beijing's regulatory clampdown. And stocks fell in Japan as the country plans to expand state of emergency to areas surrounding Tokyo. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
I'm not seeing updates. I'm seeing down dates. S&Ps are down 0.5%, 0.53 this morning. They've been lower and trending lower all morning long. That's not a positive sign for the markets this morning. You saw that earnings report from Amazon that came out last night. That really is setting the tone for the markets today. Adding to that selling pressure of Amazon, you got to look at, what else is out there, and that Delta virus outbreaks, are really likely to weigh on the economy. We're back up to like 100,000 a day, yesterday's numbers. So that's a negative that can hurt growth in the future. I look over at Asia. Asian markets were lower. You look at Europe. European markets are dropping. There's no real catalyst to stop this slide today. The sell-off is not, necessarily bad though, because you got to look at this sometimes as an opportunity to kind of create positions at discounted prices. The tech sell-off is likely to continue all day. I'm not going to be doing anything in the morning, but I know that we have a number of positive earnings reports coming out next week. That I'm going to be looking forward to. I'm looking for some good opportunities there. Right now, hey, the market's overshadowed by this bearish sentiment. And, we'll get some good earnings that'll turn things around next week. But right now, I got to be very cautious. But that's what I'm seeing this morning in the S&P, Shane.
Well, let's tell traders what's going on for earnings to watch, starting off with what we've seen so far. It looked like Decker's Outdoor did great. Bill, tell us about it.
Well, Deckard Outdoor, really came through. They were set for a big move. We were talking about a big move there. That's ticker DECK, David, Edward, Charlie, Kilo. They beat by $1.85 on higher revenue, and the stock jumped off of it. Gilead, that's ticker GILD, Grace, India, Larry, David. They beat by 14 cents on higher revenue. TMUS. Tom, Michael, under Sam. This is T-Mobile. They beat by 25 cents on higher revenue. Twillo, ticker TWLO, Tom, William, Larry, Oscar. They beat by 2 cents on higher revenue. Amazon, ticker AMZN. They beat by $2.90 on lower revenue, but they lowered guidance for the next 2 quarters. Pinterest, that's ticker PINS, Paul, India, Nancy, Sam. They missed by 3 cents on higher revenue. Made some mentions about declining viewership, but I'm really looking at this one. X is in U.S. Steel. That's ticker X is an X-ray. They beat by 32 cents on higher revenue. These raw materials continue to outperform. CubeSmart, this is ticker CUBE, Charlie, Underboy, Edward. They beat by 3 cents on higher revenue. And, let's take a look at this morning. Chevron, ticker CVX, Charlie Victor X-Ray. They beat by 21 cents on higher revenue. Caterpillar, CAT, they beat by 22 cents on higher revenue. Colgate, ticker CL, they just met the street expectations of 80 cents, and they did that on higher revenue. ExxonMobil, that's ticker XOM, X-Ray Oscar Michael, they beat by 13 cents on higher revenue. So the oils really did well. The oils really did well this morning on their earnings releases, as we kind of thought yesterday.
Well, tell us what's going on Monday as far as upcoming earning announcements.
There's a lot coming out. Monday morning is a little bit, the big ones the big companies really aren't reporting on Monday. But what we do see is Drive Shack, that's ticker DS, David Sam. Their EPS estimate is to lose 13 cents a share. The expected move here is 15.69%. On Semiconductors, that's ticker ON, Oscar Nancy. Their EPS estimate is 48 cents. The expected move here is 7.2%. Take-Two Interactive, that's ticker TTWO, Tom, William Oscar. EPS estimate is 89 cents. The expected move here is 6.98%. Rambus, ticker RMBS, Richard Michael Boy Sam. EPS estimate is 31 cents. The expected move is 7.45%. Mosaic, ticker MOS, Michael Oscar Sam. The EPS estimate is 97 cents, and the expected move here is 7.81%. Monster Beverage, it's ticker MNST, Michael Nancy Sam Tom. EPS estimate is 67 cents. The expected move is 4.17%. Now here's one I'm interested in, PXD. This is Pioneer Natural Resources. EPS estimate is $2.58. The expected move here is 5.98%. Pioneer Natural Resources, ticker PXD, one to watch.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing for reports today.
Got a couple of reports coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. There's the Employment Cost Index, and there's also the Personal Income and Outlays. Personal income is an interesting one. We'll have to see how that comes out. That could be a market direction mover. At 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the Chicago PMI figures coming out. 10 a.m., we have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. And at 1 o'clock, we have the Baker Hughes rig count, which is key for oil traders. This morning, 9 a.m., St. Louis Fed Bank Chairman James Bullard is going to be set to be speaking. And later this evening at 8:30 p.m., Federal Reserve Governor Laurel Brainard is set to speak. James Bullard always likes to be the first guy out there speaking after an FOMC meeting. It's his way to get some popularity, it seems. I don't pay too much credence to his comments, though.
Well, talking about our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Bristol Myers, ticker BMY. The company received European Commission approval for Opdivo as a treatment for GEJ cancer. The EC's decision is based off of recent phase 3 trial, which showed that the treatment with Opdivo following CRT and complete surgical resection doubled the primary endpoint of disease-free survival compared to placebo. Bristol Myers share price is down 0.34% in pre-market. In other news, Renesola, ticker SOL, has signed an agreement with Emeren, a UK-based project developer specialized in development of renewable power plants. As part of the agreement, Emeren will develop projects reaching 110 MW shovel-ready projects by 2022. News on Largo Resources, ticker LGO. The company has received notice to proceed on battery sales contracts in Spain. Moving into some updates on the news that's been happening in China, Bright Scholar, ticker BEDU, stated that the education regulations will not have material impact on the company. The company talked about how China's official state media had announced the opinions on further alleviating the burden of homework and after-school tutoring for students in compulsory education, and they gave high-level policy directives about the requirements and restrictions related to after-school tutoring services for students from grade 1 to 9 and grade 10 to 12. Bright Scholar is among the companies that are stating that it doesn't have much to do with the line of tutoring as it is, and thus remains unscathed by the new directives. More news on what's going on in China. China is working to deepen its anti-monopoly supervision of ride-hailing companies under plans to strengthen the protection of workers' rights and require firms to amend any non-compliant operations. The ministry stated, without naming any direct companies, that it had found that some ride-hailing firms were infringing driver rights while other platforms were disrupting fair competition in the market. Companies considered to be working as illegal operations will be required to put forth timetables and work plans on how they will expedite the removal of non-compliant vehicles and personnel. Didi, company that is definitely affected by this, the share price is down 5.17% in pre-market. News on Bright Lights acquisition, a SPAC, ticker BLTS. It is in talks to merge with the San Diego-based male grooming startup Manscaped. The deal values the combined companies at $1.4 billion, and Manscaped is expected to report over $275 million in annual revenue by the year end. BLTS share price is up 0.62% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, one on PG&E, ticker PCG. The company stated this morning that it already has resolved civil claims with Shasta County and has continued to reach settlements with individual victims and their families impacted by the Zog fire in an effort to make it right. But PG&E does not agree with the district attorney's conclusion that criminal charges are warranted given the facts of this case. The company's statement comes after the Shasta County DA said that it will file criminal charges against PG&E related to the 2020 Zog fire. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors. I'm looking for events. I'm looking for specific industries. It just having the news broken down into this manner really allows me to jump quickly when breaking news hits. I start off with my FANG alert. I see that Amazon said Thursday that sales growth would be slowing over the next few quarters. Customers are venturing more outside. They're doing more activities outside the home instead of shopping. And they expect this trend to continue for the next couple of quarters. So it's not really a big positive there for Amazon, but I think it will recover. It will take some time, but today's just going to be an ugly day for Amazon. You look at Google, that's ticker GOOG. Google asked the judge that's hearing the Justice Department's antitrust lawsuit that they have against Microsoft to force them to turn over documents saying that it failed to comply with the subpoena. Apple, that's ticker AAPL. Apple's chip supplier, Taiwan Semiconductor, ticker TSM, said that some of its production lines in southern Taiwan were hit by a contamination of gases that were used in the chip making process. Of course, the company doesn't see that incident going to lead to any significant impact on its operations. Didn't say about production, though, so I'm a little concerned there. Microsoft, that's ticker MSFT, the company is said to be in advanced talks to invest in an Indian hotel chain at a valuation of $9 billion. And Tesla, that's ticker TSLA, the electronic automaker has agreed to pay $1.5 million to settle claims that a software update temporarily reduced the maximum battery voltage in some Model S sedans. Moving on to my Dow Jones 30 alert, Boeing and NASA postponed the launch of its Starliner space capsule. It seems like there might be an issue with the space station that's really causing it. It's nothing to do with the technology that Boeing is using and NASA is using regarding to the rocket engineering. Charlie Victor X-ray, that's CVX, that's Chevron. They're planning to resume their stock repurchases in Q3, and they're planning on doing it at an annual rate of $2 to $3 billion a year. So that's pretty big. I'm going over to the option volumes. I just want to point out how valuable option volumes are when you're going into earnings. You look at CVX, which is Chevron. Yesterday we saw the July weekly option implied volatility being at 45, with August at 27. Their 52-week range was 24 to 51. They had a call put ratio of 2.7 calls to every one put. And Chevron delivered a 21-cent beat this morning. ExxonMobil, that's ticker XOM. The July weekly call option implied volatility was at 43 yesterday. The August option implied volatility is at 29. The 52-week range of 26 to 53. And, it had a call put ratio yesterday of 4.8 calls to every one put. ExxonMobil delivered a 13-cent beat. So option volumes really came through yesterday. In terms of events going on, Plug, the ticker PLUG, Paul Larry under Grace. Plug Power is having a shareholders meeting today. It's supposed to start at 10 a.m. Cirrus Logic, that's ticker CRUS, Charlie Richard under Sam. Cirrus Logic is having a shareholders meeting that starts at noon today. And Lakeland Financial, that's ticker LKFN, Larry Kilo, Frank Nancy. They're going to be added to the S&P 600 starting on Tuesday, August 3rd. So that's one to watch. But that's my headlines for you today, Shane.
Let's go ahead and move into our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking one I spoke about, Bristol Myers, ticker BMY. Now, this is one I definitely expect there to be more market weakness coming into the morning open. So this is one I wouldn't get in anything higher than $67.50. So I'd wait for that drop. The company has received European Commission approval for Optivo as a treatment for GAJ cancer. So it's good news for them. And they've got strong phase 3 trial data that came out with this that really should be positive for them. So I'd imagine if you get this dip right, there could be a nice rise to come back out of it. So that's my pick. It's a cautious one, and it's one we got to really, see the gains where we can get them. But that'll be my pick. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
Well, yeah, today's going to be a down day, so your entry price is everything, and you don't want to pay at the open because it's likely that stocks are going to pull back a little lower. So you got to be cautious here. But I'm going with Amgen. That's ticker AMGN, Apple, Mary, Grace, Nancy. Here's the play. The earnings are not coming out tomorrow or Monday. They're coming out Tuesday. But this thing's priced for a 4% move into earnings on Tuesday afternoon. Now, I'm looking for an entry price, around $240 here. If it can get down to that $240 mark, I'm looking positive at going long on shares of Amgen for a run into earnings on Tuesday morning. And I think you could start seeing that pop of an earnings run up on Monday, especially if this sell-off continues today. So I'm preparing for the lower opening price. And I'm also, looking forward to maybe a possible, increase on some very positive selected names on Monday morning. And I believe Amgen could be one of them due to the earnings coming out on Tuesday.
Moving into what's hot off the press, the news is hitting the tape as we speak, moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Bill, what are the headlines we should be letting traders know about?
I see that Tesla, ticker TSLA, Tom, Sam, Larry, Apple, they're reducing Model 3 prices in China effective immediately. CLIR, Charlie, Larry, India, Richard, their chief financial officer just passed away. I see Kathy Wood's ARK fund bought $45 million in Robinhood and the stock on its IPO debut. That IPO was not a successful IPO.
One on ExxonMobil, ticker XOM. The company expects to produce more than 40,000 barrels per day of biofuels by 2025.
See, another broker came out and lowered the price target on Amazon. All the brokers are lowering price targets on Amazon this morning.
Green Thumb Industries, ticker GTBIF, has opened a new location in Virginia, its 60th store nationwide.
There's another one on Amazon. They got hit with a 746 million euro fine, which is equivalent to $887 million by a European Union privacy regulator for violations related to its advertising.
Nuvasive, ticker NUVA, has received an FDA clearance for its Pulse platform.
GWW, Grace, William. This is WW Granger. They see 2021 results at the low end of guidance range. Ticker GWW. Honeywell, that's ticker HON. Harry, Oscar, Nancy, they declared a 93-cent quarterly dividend. That's a 1.6% yield.
Here's a stock alert. 3M, ticker MMM, has fallen 2.4% to pace the Dow's pre-market losers.
JP Morgan raised their price target on 3M this morning.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing, Shane.
Same here. That'll do it for what's hot off the press. Traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out and get a free trial. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Thursday. I had ExxonMobil, ticker XOM. It opened at $59 and went as high as $59.15 for a 0.25% gain. So a relatively flat day in the market. They did have that positive earnings, so looking to see hopefully some more green ahead today. How'd your pick end up doing, Bill?
Well, I did Caterpillar, that's ticker CAT. It opened up at $214 and ran at $214.51, but it closed lower at $212.56. Hey, earnings came out very strong. They came out with a 22-cent beat. But this market pullback is really causing the stock to weaken this morning. So, it wasn't a great thing.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.